Welcome to Cancer Called, third episode, even though I put up 6 fingers. So I was supposed to have a different guest today, but they weren't able to make it. So my lovely friend Alissa stepped in for me so that we can talk about side effects. So thank you for joining me, Alissa. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Or as I say, that's part. Oh, cheers to that. And mine is not alcohol. Just calling that out. So, as you can see, we have on our Cancer Called shirts. I always wear my Cancer Called shirt, or I try to wear my Cancer Called shirt. And Alissa put on her pink Cancer Called shirt that she wore the day of my surgery. And she also wore that we had the bowling party for me before the surgery. So that was really cool. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. We need to go bowling. I really want to go bowling. So, side effects. Let's first talk about after surgery. I think you came to see me like that week. I think you came a few days after surgery, a couple of days after surgery. There's a picture of me that Abdullah took in the hospital. That's my husband, for those that don't know. It was horrendous. It is one of those pictures that you just cannot post. It was terrible. I was laying there like this. And to be honest, it looked like I had passed. Oh my God. But no, seriously. It looked like,
so you were
it's funny when it ain't funny. I mean, it was when they bring you back to recovery.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm literally passed out, and I look like somebody hit me with a bus. I know that's not a side effect, but let's just call it one because it was scary. But back to when you came to visit me, I think it was a few days later, and the first thing I can remember when I saw you, and don't take this the wrong way, but I was really nauseous. Not at your face, but I was definitely nauseous, and they always talk about how you're going to have those side effects, especially when you're dealing with chemo. But I had the nausea coming right out of surgery and recovering. I've always had an issue with the medication that they give you, anesthesia, general anesthesia, and so the nausea makes you feel like your whole stomach is in your throat, and your throat is in your stomach. If that makes sense. So when I saw you, I was happy to see you, but I was really, really nauseous. Yeah. I think after surgery too, you have the scars that you can't see, and then you have like the drains.
Oh, that's
and
right.
That was a little, so I'm glad my husband dealt with that because I was like, this is too much for me. The drains are where they put the drains in your chest if you have like mastectomy. And then they want to calculate how much blood and drainage you're putting out to be able to tell if you're healing or not.
Yeah.
It's nasty, huh?
I mean, I do feel like you were definitely very disoriented during a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that was probably another reason. It's like you just don't want to think about this. You want someone else to deal with it.
I didn't want to think about nothing.
Out of it.
When I say it really feels like somebody hit you with a bus, not to scare people, but it does feel like somebody hit you with a bus. And then you really can't move if you have a mastectomy because one, you don't want to open your scars. You don't really want to move, to be honest, but you really can't because you'll open your scars. And then again, a lot of people get nauseous just from the anesthesia. So that's definitely from surgery. Now let's talk about chemo.
Whole another beast.
To me, that is the beast of the beast. Okay, because chemo, they prepare you for chemo and they're like, you're going to lose your hair. This is my first time recording without a hat. That means I'm getting out there. But they definitely say you're going to lose your hair. Most people lose their hair if they do the type of chemo that I had, which is intravenous, and it's through my port. But you can still see here because I still get infusions, even though it's not chemo medication, right?
It's just so interesting. Like, I never knew that
It's
they could do all of that.
Yeah.
literally through a port in your,
that goes
like
up
you
your
would think
neck.
it would be through an IV, but it basically is an IV. It's just more direct.
Right,
to where they
and it's
want
through
it.
your neck, because if you do the IV, they have to poke you every time. And I actually have a lady friend that called me that had breast cancer, and she was like, if I don't tell you anything else, make sure you get a port. Because she was doing the intravenous, and well, it's intravenous either way, but she was doing it where they had to poke her every time, and her vein wound up collapsing. So definitely didn't want that. And I'm a hard stick anyway, like my nana. You'll hear me talk about my nana a lot. I think I talked about her last episode. Anywho, back to chemo. So the other thing, after they talk about losing your hair, they say you might have a gray look to your skin, right? So that was like freaking me out, because I was like, I don't want to walk around like looking gray, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I don't know if you've noticed, usually when you see cancer patients, they do look sick.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my biggest fears. And people were like, you were scared of looking sick and you're on chemo. I'm like, yeah, because everywhere you go, people see you, right? So you're in the grocery store and they're like, hey, there's a chemo patient. So for those chemo patients out there, I know exactly how that feels, to like walk outside and feel like all eyes are on you and probably nobody cares, which is why I'm recording myself with no hat on, because I'm just there now. I just don't even care anymore. So so then you have like I said, the gray skin, and then they talk about your nails will raise, right? So I had to take off my dip. I get my nails, what is it, dip? What is it, SNS?
A dip.
Something like that.
A powder.
Yeah, so I had to take that off, and my nails did raise, and then they started turning colors, like a purplish red color, and it's almost like your nail is dead,
or like bruised or
yeah,
something.
like bruised.
Okay. Yeah.
But it didn't come off. Mine didn't come off, but they were ugly, almost Frankenstein like. Not as bad as other people I see.
I didn't think they looked that bad.
Yeah,
No.
but those stickers that some of my friends sent me, and Alissa did my nails.
She forced me.
That's part of the contract. Friendship. So yeah, she did my nails with the stickers, and that made me feel a lot better. So for those of you that are having issues with your nails, there's these stickers, and they're called Color Street. So if you look up Color Street, I don't know if I can shout out companies, but oh well, you're welcome, Color Street. Look those up. Right, find them at Walmart. And you can even have Color Street parties. It's really cool. So you definitely want to get those for your nails. That way you don't have to worry about when they raise and they look bad, but you can Google that.
Yeah, you can still feel like put together even though your body is going through all of these
I agree.
things.
Yep,
right?
yep,
Yeah.
definitely. When you did my nails, that made me feel so much better, because when I had to take the dip off, I was just like, well, there went the girly.
Yeah,
out
exactly.
the window, right? So yeah, definitely look that up. So what else happened? So then the other thing with chemo, and I joke about this a lot, but I really want my eyebrows back. You probably can't really see them that well with this light, but they're kind of growing. Now she wants to draw eyebrows. Seriously.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of people do.
Are yours drawn on?
Yeah, they are.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Are you a natural redhead?
Partially, yeah, but they're a lot darker right now than
How are
they
you
normally
a partial
would be.
redhead?
I have red hair, like a red tint, but to me, I wouldn't say like it's red. Naturally.
Okay, whatever works. So now she wants to draw my
Just
eyebrows.
saying. Okay, well,
But you can kind of see them. They're coming
that
back.
is exciting. Yeah,
it is exciting. And then your eyelashes. These are things that you never would think you would lose, right?
Or even
when they
have
say
to
you lose
think
your hair.
about, like, it's not like the normal beauty standard. Like, you don't ever think you have to worry about something like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because when they say you're losing your hair, you're like, oh, I'm going to lose all of my hair. You don't think your eyelashes come out. They do. Your eyebrows, like I had like fine chest hair just because I'm a hairy person. Seriously. And it just,
No, yeah.
it comes,
Yeah.
that comes out.
'Cause
Your
of- yeah,
pubic
yeah, it's all
area,
over.
the hair is gone. Your legs, everywhere. The arm hair, I used to have like a lot of arm hair, and now it's like kind of growing back, but it's really thin. So alert, you lose all your hair. And some women have told me that they don't get it back, meaning they don't get their leg hair back.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting.
But usually everybody I've talked to, they say they get their head hair back. But yeah, all my hair came back because I guess in another life I was a werewolf or something, because everything came back. It ain't here now because I had chemo. So it's coming back.
But you don't know that yet.
Uh-huh. It's
No, you
it's
don't.
growing back on my
That's what-
legs.
Well, like very slowly,
And-
but I do think that it looks more fine.
It's definitely more fun.
Yeah.
My hair texture already, I mean, it's peach fuzz,
It's like
but
baby
it's definitely
hair.
like baby
It's
hair.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not
Which is
like
kinda
the hair I
cool.
had before, yeah. And your pubic hair, because we're all adults, just know I do not post this for children. That grew back, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I actually went to my chemo doctor, and I was like, dude, because that's how we talk. Wait till you see him on the show, right? I'm like, dude, why is my pubic hair growing back already and not my head? And I said, where are my eyebrows? And he's like, with time tomorrow, with time, right? Everything's is going to come back. And he was like, unfortunately, you're not one of those that doesn't have to shave your legs anymore. And he thought that was funny.
He even said that.
Yeah, and I was like, haha,
Ooh.
you know, but yeah, so I'm back to
Trust
shaving
me.
my legs, but that tells me though that I'm getting better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely getting better. So, you know, that those are other side effects. But then there's a side effect, and this is surprising. I don't know if I ever told you this, but your eyesight gets worse.
Oh, I can see that.
And I didn't recall him saying that. I think I had to go a couple times, and I was like, the TV looks a little different without my glasses. And he was like, oh yeah, it'll affect your eyesight. So whoever thought?
Oh yeah.
Chemo.
Do they? And that does correct itself after, typically.
It's getting better than it was when I was on chemo.
Yeah.
I mean, I still had eyesight issues, but I'm, what is it, nearsighted when you can see close, but you can't see far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm nearsighted. But yeah, when I had chemo, I found myself wearing my glasses more often because the screen would get kind of blurry, but I could drive and everything, you know.
Yeah.
When I wanted to drive, you don't really want to drive when you're on chemo, depending on what type of chemo you have. Some people can take chemo and they don't lose their hair.
Yeah.
If you watched my previous episode, I had a breast cancer person on, and Claire was talking about, just do a total blank.
You were talking about chemo and different types of chemo.
Oh, the type of chemo that she had, she called it the Red Devil in that episode.
And it's actually the type. It's not.
It's the drug.
Oh.
Yeah, so she was still getting intravenously,
Interesting.
but she didn't have to have it as many times as I did, but they called hers the Red Devil.
Oh. Because you were going much more often, and then they slowed you down on it.
That one time,
Because
yeah,
of
because
your
it got me
reactions.
really sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I call my chemo drugs Big Daddies because I have the infusion. Well, they're all infusions, but I have the medication that is supposed to help me with this HER2 positive thing. That's for a different conversation. And then you have chemo drugs, right? Because I'm like hormone positive, so my cancer feeds off of hormones.
That's so cool.
Like estrogen.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
crazy.
So with Claire's, her Red Devil, they actually had her like pack her cheeks with ice, like an ice pack. It's insane. Please watch episode 2 because you learn a lot of stuff there. Yeah, but you know, the chemo with the infusions was really tough. Another thing was when you have infusions, some people have to get Benadryl. Definitely when you have your first infusion, to make sure that you don't have a reaction to the medication. And then they also give you nausea medication depending on the drug so that you don't get sick. And if I can be totally honest, when I went to my first chemo treatment, I was just like, oh, okay, she put it in my port. Okay, ouch, a little bit, right? And then you're sitting there, you're reading your books, you know, you're pretty good. But when that third one hit, that let me know I have cancer. I'm here to tell you.
Interesting.
That
took so that was what, a month and a half before your third treatment?
Yeah, because I was doing it every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
So almost
okay,
2 months. Yeah. Oh, that was about 2 months.
Man.
It was intense. That's where I had
so
the reaction, and they had to back it off a little bit because it was too much.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about having that reaction, it wasn't an allergic reaction, but when I tell you it made me so sick, I was vomiting and I had the worst diarrhea, another side effect that you have ever seen. Like, I just got to put it out there. Y'all know how I am, right? When they tell you that you either are going to have diarrhea or you get constipated, again, depending on the drug.
Oof.
I'm not a professional. I'm not a medical professional. I'm a professional at what I do. No, just kidding.
I'm still a professional.
I'm still a professional, but I'm not a medical professional. But yeah, they tell you either get constipated or you get diarrhea. Well, I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, before cancer. And so they were like, well, what type do you have? And I was like, I always get constipated. And they were like, oh, it'll probably go the other way for you.
Oh.
And sure enough.
That's true.
Sure enough. I'm talking about, it gave me maybe 24 hours. And then it hit me. And it was like nonstop for a week.
First, yeah.
Entire
I remember
week.
you saying that.
Yeah, remember I would call you, like, let me call you back. Because I
it
gotta
would
go to
through
the bathroom.
phases of just yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, like, that's a good way to put it, was the phases, because you had the chemo, 24 hours after, here comes the diarrhea, and then the nausea's already kicked in, but they do give you medications to try to keep this under control, like, depending on the patient, right? But then, back to phases, you did that for a few days, and then depending on what you were eating, then you get really nauseous, or you don't even want to eat. That is a side effect. Like, people are like, oh, no, that's just because you don't feel well, because you're sick. I'm like, right, that's a side effect. Yeah. So, I didn't want to eat a lot, but my husband would always, like, cut up apples. He tried to give me broth, which is another good thing. I joke a lot, but I'm not even kidding. Slim Jims. Real deal. It's probably, I probably shouldn't even be eating these things. They're probably
Maybe
bad
it's
for you.
the fat. Like, your body needs the fats and the proteins because you weren't keeping things down.
I think so, because it says it is a protein.
I mean, yeah.
And it has a lot of salt, though. But when you think about having diarrhea and vomiting, they always say you need to put salt back in your body, right? So I found out one of my chemo buddies also was eating a lot of these. So when she was in the hospital, she had a little bit of a setback with some of her side effects from her medication. I brought her boxes of Slim Jims.
Oh.
So again, don't sue me, Slim Jim. Can't get it out. But that was a free shout out for them. And I still eat these things. So basically my diet consisted of chicken broth or bone broth. Beef broth was good too. The Slim Jims. Fruit was another good one. And I was able to actually keep, like, peas down. Believe it or not. Right? I actually like peas. But when you think of peas, right, what's the first thing that comes in your mind besides green? When you think of peas?
I mean...
It's not diarrhea.
Little.
She said little.
Or
no, so
that they're
when I think
peas.
when I think of peas, I think of baby food. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can see that.
But the reason I asked you that is because I actually started buying baby food. No lie. No lie. Because it's so bad. your nausea's so bad, and then like
You don't
when
wanna
you try to
chew,
eat
you
like
don't wanna-
whole food, like thick breads and things, you're just like can't do it. It got to the point where I would put things in my mouth and just sit there with it in my mouth. Like it made me what's the word where you
Gag.
like gag. Yeah, gag. So I would sit there and I would just be like, I can't do it. I couldn't even chew it. And then I would just spit it back out. And I tell my husband, like, can you come get this? Because I don't want it anymore. And it would be like a piece of bread with some peanut butter on it.
What about fluids? Like, were you having to drink a lot of water?
Oh, they always tell you to drink a lot of water. I mean, now...
Or like Pedialyte, did they say, or anything?
You know, they never told me to do Pedialyte.
Oh.
I think she told me don't do Pedialyte. I'm not sure. You know what? She did tell me don't do Pedialyte. So she said, drink plenty of water. Every time you leave an infusion, drink plenty of water.
Mm-hmm.
Which definitely makes you go to the bathroom more. But the friend that I have that's also, I call her my chemo sister, she got to the point where she was drinking water, she couldn't even keep water down.
Yeah.
That was
if you're
a
drinking
side effect.
too much,
but
or
she just couldn't keep it down. It didn't matter, excuse me, it didn't matter what she ate or what she drank. She just couldn't keep it down. But to your point, water is supposed to be good. And that's really all I was doing was drinking water and the things that I named.
Mm-hmm.
But the baby food, I want to go back to that because I think it's important.
Oh, I thought you were saying you wanted to go
serious.
back to eating baby food.
That's true. Well, I mean,
You never know.
some of it's good though. I'm not gonna lie. But let me tell you, there was this one that had carrot, pear, and something.
Oh yeah, when they combine them
I
and
was
like the
like,
little pouches.
Why
those are
would
probably
you
the
feed
good
this
ones.
to your child?
Oh, it was that bad.
It was terrible.
Oh yeah.
It was terrible. When I tell you baby
So
food
bad.
has no flavor in it, none. It has no flavor.
Because it's all nutrients. You're used to eating like heavily salted.
Oh, she
and
told on me.
Just saying. Well, no, not you, but like people in general are used to eating. Like if you eat out, it's heavily salted.
Yeah.
Butter, oil.
Processed.
Whereas you're just getting the actual ingredients and nutrients.
Let me just tell you.
So I'm sure it's much healthier.
My husband didn't take too kindly to the baby food because he's like, you bought all this baby food and you're not eating it. And I was like, because it's nasty. Like, welcome to cancer patient's life, right? Like, it definitely changes your side effects. That's all I have on my mind. It definitely changes your palate. Not just your appetite, but your palate. So, like, I used to love graham crackers. And I eat those now to this day. It tastes like paper now. It tastes like brown paper bag. Not that I sit around chewing brown paper bag, but it tastes like brown paper bag. And I know some of my chemo sisters out there know what I'm talking about.
So it's like you feel like you lost taste buds.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, and they said your taste may change. Now it doesn't for everybody.
Yeah.
But I noticed it right after the first chemo treatment. Once I was able to get some food down, everything that was brought to me tastes different. Like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's like my favorite cereal. So I was like, oh, that's going to be my go-to in the morning. I'm going to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. No, it tastes like paper bag. What? It's almost like you eat something that's normally processed and now you taste how bad it is for you.
That's like going vegan or eating more clean. It's like you realize how bad the things are, or like as you grow up, you taste the things like the cereals you ate as a kid, and now you're like, this is disgusting. How could I eat this much sugar?
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, even now eating what was it? Oh, Lucky Charms. I tried to give them to Alissa because I didn't want to waste them. Because I was so happy to be eating.
Yeah. And
I wanted everything that I couldn't have before because I literally like gave up so much food. My diet was so bland.
Yeah.
And chemo was like what, 6 months, 6 treatments.
Yeah, it was a long
so
time.
like,
well, and only
it was
more
than
now,
6 treatments.
I feel like you're finally back to eating semi-normal again. And it's been how many weeks that you've been doing that you've been
since
off
April.
of chemo has been
April 19th. Yeah. And what's today? July.
It's almost August, so I mean,
yeah, that's pretty cool though. I'm happy
it's
about
coming
that.
back around.
Yeah. So another thing before I moved out of chemo was after chemo though. When I tell you I ate everything that I saw, I am serious.
I mean, that's kind of nice though if you.
But it was kind of serious at the same time because I'm like, well, I did lose weight, which is another side effect. Like, you can lose weight, or some people gain weight.
Really?
I was like, how do you gain weight with chemo? That's
maybe just the way that their body handles the.
Yes. Some people said they actually gain weight, but most of the people that I come in contact with lose weight. So if you can, attest to that as far as eating everything that you could find or didn't run away from you or wasn't your pet animal, comment below because seriously, I ate everything. No, I'm saying.
You ate one of your fish?
No, I'm saying I ate everything that didn't run away from me pretty much. But it was like, it was so bad, but it was so good at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like... a victory thing.
It's
like, right? Like, why not allow yourself to if you've been...
It's true. And my husband didn't stop me either. He was just like, slow down, babe. Slow down a little bit. But I have to tell you one thing that I can't eat I can eat it, but it does not taste the same. And you know how much I love this from when we were roommates.
No. I'm thinking, is it actual food?
It is, and we used to go and get it. We used to drive to get it.
What, Bahama Bucks?
No, I love Bahama Bucks still. It does taste a little bit different. I'll give you one more chance.
Drive to get it.
We used to get it, and we used to eat it together. And you used to be like, Tamara, we don't need to eat this. And they charge you like $9 for it. You didn't say that.
Oh, really? Frozen yogurt?
No!
Damn it!
What else do we try to eat? Factory.
Oh, oof. Yeah, I can see that.
It tastes
because that stuff
totally
is so
different.
bad for you. That's why it tastes so
good.
amazing now.
I can't.
But you're just, it's like your body is it's like your body has been cleansed in every sort of the way.
That's the truth.
Because you have not been eating those types of things. So it's like, it's almost not appealing to you anymore.
It's not. Like, I went and got a piece of cheesecake, and it was so bad. It was so bad.
Did you try another one just to make sure that it wasn't just the one piece of cheesecake?
I did. I tried it a few times, and it was like, I can't do this. About 3 bites in, I was done. I might have given it to Abdullah.
See, that would be a bummer.
Yeah, it was bad. But
just gotta find a healthier cheesecake, I guess.
I guess the last side effect with chemo was, well, for me anyway, was I definitely felt like my skin was different. But surprisingly, though, I don't know if you noticed, your skin does get a little bit dry. Depends on how you take care of your skin, but I felt like I had baby skin all through chemo.
Yeah.
But you never would think that.
Well, you mean in the way that it felt, like you felt like it was soft,
yeah,
but it was also
face.
very, very sensitive.
It was.
So maybe that's why it's like baby skin, because it's like you're peeling away again. It's like your body is like almost regenerating itself.
It is, because with that chemo, it's killing every cell in your body.
Your skin does look good now.
Thank you.
Like it looks healthy. It has like, because I remember when you were getting the treatments more often and you overreacted, that's when you were having some
the
effects
red
with your skin.
I forgot about that. You remembered that.
Yeah.
I did an update video. And it was red, like a rash.
And I think
and
also
that was like
just,
a side effect.
Yeah, the sensitivity, but then also the fact that you had to stay out of the sun so often because your skin was so, that's similar to a baby.
Yeah.
Like you have to really be careful with baby skin.
And they tell you too, you can't be in the sun. And I'm thinking probably because I don't really have any skin. I mean, I have skin, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because the cells are gone.
Yeah.
So, that was like the side effects for me. I think the hardest though was definitely the diarrhea. I still call it the king, because even now when I get it, just because it's certain infusions, sometimes I have that side effect still, but it's nowhere near as vicious as it was with chemo. I just dread the word. Like, oh, it's the worst part for me. And then the sleeping too.
Oh, yeah.
I text people late at night. Some of y'all probably know that. But I think people turn their phones off, but I guess not. You don't turn your phone off? So I be texting you at like 3 a.m. and you don't. Oh, sorry.
And then my boyfriend's like, "Who's texting you?" And I'm like, "It's Tamara."
And then he goes back
Here's
to sleep,
my
right? Oop, I'm getting people in trouble. I'm breaking up relationships. That's not good. Yeah. So yeah, the side effects, I mean, there's ways to manage it. You know, one thing that I'm trying to deal with now is depression. And some of the people I've had on do talk about that. People have depression even when they're not cancer patients, right?
Yeah.
So you can just imagine. What I found strange about that side effect is it didn't really start hitting me until like my fourth or fifth chemo treatment. It's almost like reality finally kicked in.
Yeah.
And you know, I had started Cancer Called. I had just got married right before the cancer diagnosis, and then I started Cancer Called like January or December. I think December. So my energy was focused on other things, and I wasn't just sitting there.
You had energy too, though. I think that might have been some of the difference.
That's surprising.
You definitely had energy.
You think so? Well, I would see you guys. You guys would come visit me.
I felt like in the beginning, you definitely were very optimistic about everything.
Yeah,
for
looking
sure.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing my dance videos, which I told my husband
True.
we definitely have to get back to doing that. I think you did one with me.
Those are cute.
Yeah, you did do them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess the energy was different for me because my focus was elsewhere, and the treatments were more like, okay, treatments tomorrow, get yourself going, and just get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's slowed down because chemo's over, hyperbaric chambers, I was in that to help me heal. That's done. 3 surgeries done, right? Now I'm doing radiation, and tomorrow's my last day of radiation. Oh. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Tink. So, yeah, I think I'm slowing down now. I started working back in January, and I could have really been out the whole year, but again, I was trying to put my focus somewhere where I wasn't like sitting down and always feeling bad for myself. But I definitely, you know, I got on medication to help me, and it also helps with my hot flashes. I didn't talk about hot flashes. You will have hot flashes if they throw you into menopause. I won't spend too much time on that, but you will have hot flashes if they throw you into early menopause, because I'm not 40-something yet, right? But yeah, I definitely worked through the depression. I signed up for some support groups where they talk about how to manage life after cancer. So I'm gonna try that. It's usually not my thing. You know, recording videos, that's more my thing or whatever, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but you've definitely been, proactive with making sure that you're not just allowing yourself to be kind of stuck in that stage.
Yeah.
You're doing things to help yourself, which is
I'm trying.
important, because otherwise...
I'm trying.
You know.
Yeah, and I color a lot. You know, my supporters, you know, and my friends, they know that, and my family. But, yeah, and it's people like you that help push me through, and, you know, you show up, you make me laugh, you bring joy. You know, a lot of you have brought me joy. You know, we come over, we hang out at your pool. You know, you did a nice pool party for me. It was really nice. So I can't thank you enough for being my friend and definitely stepping in, you know, to join me today on this episode. So I'm just going to end it there. I hope you guys continue watching, and hope you comment, write us, and make sure that you visit us on Facebook at cancer_called. You can also visit me on Instagram at cancer_called, right? And on our website at cancercalled.com. Cancercalled.com, where we are selling merchandise. If you're interested, looking for some new things, I definitely am probably going to need your help with that. I actually thought about putting out beach towels.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? We live in Arizona.
Or like,
you know,
blankets.
Yeah.
Blankets could be nice.
Yeah, with the logo. And maybe some mugs. So definitely make sure you check us out because we're going to have some new things coming in the fall. Right now, though, I have to get ready for vacation. So see you soon. Thanks again, Alissa. I really appreciate you.
Yes.
See you guys next time.